The NXT Tag Team titles are finally vacated. And man, what a match to decide the new champions at TakeOver. Speaking of TakeOver, NXT is making TakeOver 25 must see. And the return of an NXT OG coming back to challenge for the North American Championship. All this plus so much more right here for NXT on Off the Script.
Delete this man.
Alive with it. People still What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me right here on the podcast. This is NXT, right here on Off the Script. It is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2019. Quick shout out to my younger brother, Michael, who turns 31 years old today. He's probably holed up in a laboratory somewhere. I know he's not listening to the podcast, but I'm thinking about him. Smartest guy that I will ever know, man. My brother Michael is the smartest guy I know, easily. If there's anything ever wrong with me, if I'm dying or if I am ill, he's the first guy I'm going to because I guarantee he's got the cure. So happy birthday to him, and I hope he enjoyed his day, whatever he might be doing today, man. Tonight, we're going to be talking about NXT and what happened on NXT TV. As always, I got news and rumors. I got the NXT Tag Team titles. I got news on them. They're officially vacated, by the way, if you did not realize that after Wednesday last week. Now, it could have been up to interpretation, but I was hoping it was not the case. The War Raiders defended the NXT Tag Team titles against the Street Profits, and then a slew of NXT Tag Teams came in and ruined all of that. And Hanson and Rowe of the War Raiders seemingly just put the titles down and bowed and then walked out. So now we no longer have NXT Tag Team Champions. They are officially vacated. I wish they would have went about this in a different way. I think it would have been great for a team like the War Raiders, who are unstoppable, to put over a Montez Ford and an Angelo Dawkins and put the Street Profits up there as one of the elite tag teams in WWE. But clearly there are other plans for the War Raiders. I only hope. I mean, we haven't seen them on TV in 2 weeks, so God knows what the fuck Vince McMahon is doing. But there's a reason why they vacated and didn't defend and lose the titles. I'm hoping that WWE sees value in them and they wanted to keep them undefeated. They did this with Asuka, but it's not an Asuka situation. And that whole thing with Asuka being undefeated, that was her fucking gimmick. The undefeated streak was a huge part of Asuka's gimmick. The War Raiders are just two big guys who are just brutally tough. And they're going to kill you. I don't understand why WWE couldn't go about the War Raiders dropping the titles to a younger tag team on their way out in NXT. But they're officially vacated. We'll go over the small news article that I got. Also, WWE has announced NXT TakeOver War Games in Chicago. So if you are a Chicago native, or if you find yourself in Chicago, details on War Games. I won't be there for War Games because I think I will be going to Chicago for AEW and the All In 2 pay-per-view that's happening in August. Also, Dakota Kai. There's been a lot of injuries in WWE. Chelsea Green being one of them. Dominik Dijakovic being another. Keith Lee was just out. He just returned. Dakota Kai is one of the more notable names on the women's division, along with Tegan Knox, who is out. And she is actually ahead of schedule for a return. So we'll update you guys on Dakota Kai as well tonight right here on the podcast. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, man. I'm flying to Vegas tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm scared shitless because I hate being on an airplane. But I'll bring my Nintendo Switch. I'll have my iPad. I'll do some House of Glory work. I might have a beer or four to calm me down. But I'm flying to Vegas. And I will be there for AEW Double or Nothing starting tomorrow. So if you guys are out there, come say what's up. Come say what's up. If you're going to StarCast, come call me an asshole. I know if I have a hater or a troll out there or a detractor that knows of me that's following me on social media who is too pussy to say anything online, guarantee you they won't be approaching me. Or if they do, they'll be like, "Oh, JD, nice to meet you. You're so great at what you do." I'd love for somebody to come up to me and say, "I hate your fucking guts, you fucking prick." It would actually put a smile on my face. It really would. And I'd laugh at you and go about my day. But anyway, follow me on social media, man. Everything you guys want from StarCast, I will be uploading on my social media, on my IG stories, on Instagram, on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow me at JD from NY206 on both Twitter and the Gram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications, man. I got to thank every single one of you. Let me flip on the camera here. I got to thank every single one of you, man. It's been an unbelievable week as far as audience retention and subscribers and minutes watched and just views. I want to thank each and every one of you, man. Whether you're new or old, who have come here to listen to what I have to say about what we find most important in the world of professional wrestling. And I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me. If you're new, I want to thank you guys so very much for finding me and hitting that subscribe button, man. You are giving me a subscribe, and that's all I could ever ask for, man. I never asked of anything but that. If you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, it is there. It's completely optional. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys get early access to Off the Script, which should be happening this week because I have to record Off the Script before I go to Vegas, because I don't know if I'll have much time with StarCast. So I'll get some of the podcast up this weekend early. And you guys get all the audio versions of what you don't get on Spotify and iTunes. And it's the only way to get exclusive content. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. I am also on Spotify and iTunes. If you guys are on iTunes, leave a rating, man. We are a 5-star rated podcast. Over 300 reviews on iTunes. Also available on Google Play and Podbean. So thank you guys so very much for all that. This week's podcast is brought to you by Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys know the deal with Audible. They're giving you something for free just for listening to me rant and rave about WWE. But I'm not ranting and raving on NXT because NXT is actually a good TV program. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys go to our unique link, sign up for free 30 days. As a thank you, Audible's going to give you one free audiobook of your choice, available on iPhone and Android devices. Make sure you guys download the app. It's completely free. You will not be billed in the 30 days. The best part is, if you guys want to sign up, it is free. If you guys want to stay on after the 30 days, you can certainly do that. Audible's great. But if you guys find that Audible is not for you, but you still want to support the podcast anyway by getting your free audiobook, you can cancel on day 1, day 6, day 14, day 30. And Audible is going to allow you to keep that audiobook still for free, even though you want to cancel. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/offthescript. Go and support the podcast. And thank you to our fine friends over at Audible. We'll start off with the NXT Tag Team title situation, man. Like I said, they are vacated. WWE made the announcement the day after NXT aired on Wednesday, so that would be Thursday. WWE has made this apparent. This is the real deal. We do not have NXT Tag Team Champions. The War Raiders have vacated those titles. On Thursday morning, WWE announced that the NXT Tag Team titles are now vacant. This was an expected move with the Viking Raiders. God, I hate that. Who haven't been seen for 2 weeks, by the way. Who were the champions, being called up to the main roster, ruined and forgotten about, apparently, and placed on the terrible show that is Monday Night Raw. I was going to say flagship. I guess it is a flagship, but I would not be one of waving the flag of something so horrid. In WWE's statement, they went on with the storyline that the titles have been vacated following the controversial ending to the title match between the War Raiders and the Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins made fun of them, if that's your real name. Loved it. So that was taped on May 1st, 2019 from Full Sail University, obviously. WWE did an angle on the episode where the Forgotten Sons attacked the War Raiders, causing the match to be thrown out. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch joined the three other teams in a wild brawl to end the show. It was added in the statement that NXT General Manager William Regal is prepared to make an announcement regarding the future of the tag team titles on this week's episode of NXT. Now, I figured that after last week's show that we were going to get some sort of multi-man match for the NXT Tag Team titles. Now, I would have loved if the War Raiders were a part of that match, but clearly we're getting the Street Profits, we're getting the Forgotten Sons, and we're getting Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch in a mix-up for the Tag Team titles. You throw Undisputed Era in there, and boom, you got a match made for NXT Takeover New York. I would have preferred the European Union of Bartel and Eichner to take the place of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, but I'm not the one booking NXT. So the Undisputed Era is in this tag team match, but I have to wonder if Bobby Fish is going to be okay. He was actually just recently injured at a WWE NXT house show where the referee threw up the X, so I don't know how well he's going to be as we get into TakeOver. So hopefully that is all squared away before we get into TakeOver on June 1st. TakeOver 25 taking place from Connecticut. WWE has announced details of another TakeOver that's happening in Chicago called War Games Survivor Series Weekend. Triple H announced that fans that want to attend NXT TakeOver War Games in Chicago can purchase their tickets this Friday when they go on sale on Ticketmaster. Good luck. Good luck. I've tried to purchase through Ticketmaster, and I'm always shut out, no matter what. And I'm somebody that's going to be willing to want to sit front row, and I want to see what the prices are to see if I actually want to spend that amount of money, and they are scalped immediately. So I don't even bother anymore. That's what I got Ticket Drew for. Ticket Drew. TicketKingOnline.com. There's your free plug, bro. TakeOver War Games will air live on the WWE Network Saturday, November 23rd from the All-States Arena. It will be a part of Survivor Series Weekend. Now, the thing is, it is a mega weekend for WWE. SmackDown Live will be on Friday. Survivor Series on Sunday. TakeOver on Saturday. Monday Night Raw on Monday. So you got back-to-back shows. Just like it would be if it was the other way around. Monday, Tuesday, and then you got the pay-per-views on Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be different come the fall and going on into the winter months. And for the next 5 years, being that WWE is signed with Fox, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Is that going to be a little easier on us? Probably not. So I got to figure out how I'm doing my content going forward into the fall. I still have not decided on that. But if you guys are interested in going to War Games, which I don't know why you wouldn't, it's one of the best shows of the year. Love that WWE's making War Games a staple for NXT. Something that Vince McMahon didn't have the balls to do. And I don't think he would be able to book it creatively anyway, being that he's a senile old fuck. But I'm glad NXT is taking this and molding it into its own and making it a spectacle every single year. I did mention a couple of weeks ago that I would love to see a Money in the Bank version of NXT. I'd love to see a King of the Ring version of NXT. I'd love to see a Royal Rumble version of NXT. Maybe sometime in the future, but slow and steady. Slow and steady. NXT wants to differentiate themselves from the main roster. They are doing everything right. I've seen some people saying that NXT is dead after the call-ups of Black and Ricochet and the War Raiders. What the fuck are you watching? Do you realize who WWE has in the PC that you haven't even seen on TV yet? NXT dead. Triple H is in the best possible position he could be in after the departures of Ricochet and Aleister Black. Tommaso Ciampa is doing very well as far as his recovery process goes. Johnny is the best thing that they got in that entire company right now. Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era is still down there. Velveteen Dream is down there. Matt Riddle is down there. Kushida is on the scene. They got Shane Strickland, who's a definite replacement for Ricochet. I love Shane Strickland. I think he's great. Keith Lee is down there. Dijakovic is down there. He's going to be back when he's injured. You got Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, Shayna Baszler. dead. I don't know, man. I think people just throw these words out there to sound cool. People don't think before they type or before they speak. NXT is far from dead, bro. TakeOver is going to still deliver on TakeOver levels, even with the departures and the unfortunate deaths of Ricochet and Aleister Black. Deaths meaning creatively, not seriously. But NXT TakeOver, I love the fact that they are sticking to this and making it a staple in that brand. It's definitely one of the most must-see shows of the entire year. Dakota Kai. I am a big fan of Dakota Kai. I was a big fan of Dakota Kai ever since I seen her in the Mae Young Classic. Team Kick has been on the shelf. Dakota Kai is currently out of action with a knee injury. She had surgery, and everything seems to be progressing quite nicely in terms of her recovery. Dakota Kai is said to be ahead of schedule and is pretty much, on her way to coming back sooner rather than later. She also seemed very excited to update fans about her status and how excited she is about making an in-ring return. She might not be 100% ready for TakeOver, but she is on her way to coming back sooner rather than later. And judging by her caption, she seemed to tease that she'll show up anyway and make a big splash. Spoiler alert, Dakota Kai is now going to show up. And she actually mentioned this on Sunday at Money in the Bank. I'm going to show up and win the Money in the Bank briefcase on Sunday night. End quote. I think that would have been great. A Dakota Kai versus Bayley program, I'm all for him, and I think that would be fantastic. Hopefully Dakota Kai can make a return, and will be a very long time before she experiences any other setbacks. I know Tegan Nox is struggling to come back. I know Rhea Ripley is out with a foot injury. So there are a few injuries. Well, the injury bug has caught up to a few people in NXT, and hopefully this could all get squared away, because when they're at full strength, man, I don't think anybody can stop them, and Dakota Kai is definitely going to be a huge piece to that WWE women's division. Make sure you guys go check out all the other videos that you might have missed this week, man. WWE is a joke. We all know that. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The title is fucking embarrassing, and I lost a lot of credibility for a lot of people in the community for appeasing WWE and their garbage. Dolph Ziggler, the comedian, or the wannabe stand-up comedian, comes back after 6 months, gets a title shot, cuts a decent promo, but the bad taste of when he was in WWE 6 months ago is still lingering. And now we gotta watch Dolph Ziggler come back for that sweet Saudi money and nothing more. So I talk about that on Raw and SmackDown. Plus, if you missed Off the Script this past weekend, get yourself ready for yet another news-filled weekend this weekend. Double or Nothing weekend, man. Make sure you guys check out all the videos that you might have missed. Link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. That little eye, drop it down, and everything you need is right there. I would really appreciate if you guys go check out all that stuff and support everything that you see right here on the channel for Off the Script. Man, what a great episode of NXT tonight, man. A really, really good episode of NXT. It all started off with William Regal, the general manager of NXT. Now remember, in the beginning of the podcast, I mentioned that it was going to be a fatal four-way for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships relinquished by the War Raiders. Now, I love how Triple H always keeps us second-guessing. The announcement tonight by William Regal was not in the spoilers. It was not known to anybody. Nobody knew what type of match it was going to be. We all knew that the War Raiders were on the main roster. They were not going to be defending those tag team titles. We knew the 4 teams that were going to be in this fatal four-way. We didn't know if there was going to be a stipulation added on top of that. So Triple H, what does he do? He has William Regal film this week. They post-edit. They put the clip in the show for tonight. William Regal announced that it will be the Street Profits, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, the Undisputed Era, and the Forgotten Sons in a fatal four-way ladder match at TakeOver 25 for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships, man. You want to make a new star team in the division? That's how you do it. Did this make NXT TakeOver 25 already on top of what we got more must-see? Absolutely. Montez Ford off of a ladder? Absolutely. You got my money, bro. You got my money. This is going to be fantastic. Everybody that has been a little iffy on the Forgotten Sons after TakeOver, you will not be forgetting them anymore. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch with a ladder? Sign me up. The Street Profits? Self-explanatory. Undisputed Era? They know what it is to be in that type of situation, man. This is going to be fucking fantastic. And it continues the streak of tag team championship matches at TakeOver, which would make Phoenix, New York, and now 25 that are probably going to be match of the year candidates. I'm excited, man. This is fantastic, and I can't wait to see what all four of these teams do at TakeOver. Speaking of Undisputed Era, they made their way out to the ring. Adam Cole, who is probably the one man that I get most excited to see make his entrance, man. I think Adam Cole is the best entrance in all of WWE, simply because he's a cocky prick, and I absolutely love it. The whole boom and his Adam Cole baby, it's fucking awesome. It's great. I'm envisioning these guys in the main roster. I'm thinking to myself, how could Vince McMahon fuck these guys up? I don't want to put it out there in the universe. Fuck me for already doing that. Undisputed Era made their way out to the ring. Adam Cole takes the microphone, and he's talking about all the rumors about Undisputed Era breaking up, or people thinking that this is the end of Undisputed Era. Calls everybody idiots. You idiots thought that we were going to be breaking up. It's untrue. The rumors are untrue. And the group is going absolutely nowhere. In fact, we are stronger than we have ever been, he says. Cole then says the locker room knows their contract must say NXT Superstar, but Undisputed Era owns them. He continues to say that the group will soon be draped in gold, going back on what he said before the turn of 2019. He did mention that all of Undisputed Era will have all of the gold in NXT. Draped in gold, which will begin in 2 weeks at TakeOver when O'Reilly and Strong, or O'Reilly and Fish, rather. I'm so used to Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong got put in his own match later tonight, which we'll talk about in a minute. So it's O'Reilly and Fish in the tag team title match. And then Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship. So there is a potential that the Undisputed Era could walk out with the world title and the tag team titles in the same evening. So then out comes said Johnny Gargano, his challenger at TakeOver. Gargano, it looks like he went to Dolph Ziggler's comedy class, because he was hilarious tonight. Now, I don't really know if Dolph Ziggler's all that funny, but I'm hearing good reviews from Mr. Nick Nemeth. But Johnny Gargano was hilarious tonight, man. This was Johnny like I've never seen him before. Johnny Gargano says Cole is only happy that the Undisputed Era is back because he knows deep down Adam Cole can't beat Johnny Gargano alone. So he wrangled up all of his boys conveniently 2 weeks before TakeOver 25. Adam Cole then reminds Gargano that he got the first fall in their 2 out of 3 falls match. And Gargano explains in this very prick-like fashion that Adam Cole, he says he shocks the system, but he never really shocked the school system. And at this point, I was laughing out loud. And then Johnny Gargano goes into this mathematical scenario where, he explains that you need to win 2 to win a 2 out of 3 falls match. And he's going over how Johnny won. He's going over, how many falls he won. And he's talking in this very slow manner so that Adam Cole can understand and process the simple math that's going on. It was hilarious. So Gargano is explaining all of this. Cole tells him to shut up, and they are going to continue their celebration tonight. And then out of nowhere, Matt Riddle attacks Roderick Strong for the attack that happened last week where Roderick Strong did what he did and professed his allegiance to Adam Cole. You've seen the bloody slipper of Matt Riddle. Clearly, Matt Riddle wanted to get revenge, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Attacks not only Roderick Strong, but the entire group from behind. It was a 4-on-1 pack-like mentality, and then Gargano heads into the ring to help Riddle clear out Undisputed Era, and they bump backs. And I got a small fantasy of Riddle and Gargano for the NXT World Championship. It's coming. I don't think Adam Cole, Adam Cole may never win the NXT Championship if things continue to keep going in the way that they are, because Johnny Gargano and Matt Riddle, that's a match I think everybody would love to see for the NXT Championship. Adam Cole may be shit out of luck. If he doesn't do it here, I don't think he's getting the NXT Championship this year, possibly. I see Matt Riddle being the next in line. So we'll see what happens with that. So officials come out and they break this shit up. It's chaos. And then obviously we get the tag team match that was announced by William Regal after all of this happened. William Regal was yelling at the Undisputed Era. They cut to commercial. This commercial for the Saudi show, man, it's fucking ridiculous. The Super Showdown is going to be on the same level or exceed WrestleMania. Do you know how fucking ridiculous that sounds? Seriously, I gotta see this shit on Wednesday when I have to watch this on Monday and Tuesday. It's bad enough. I gotta get back-to-back nights with that fucking garbage. I gotta hear it here. Super Showdown is gonna be better, if not succeed WrestleMania. Are you fucking kidding me? How ridiculous that sounds. Then we all know WrestleMania isn't really the best show of the year. It's fucking terrible. It's all hype. It's nothing but a fucking money-making machine that's got the WWE machine behind it, right? Fill 80,000 fucking idiots in a stadium to sit there for 7.5 hours, and half of them are fucking gonna complain that the event is too long. Who the fuck told you to go? You've been to the last 8. You should know by now. But to discredit WrestleMania like that, Jesus Christ. I mentioned this on Monday. Vince McMahon's greatest creation being pushed aside for the sweet Saudi blood money. Ridiculous. So after this fucking stupid commercial, this advertisement for Super Showdown, we get William Regal in the office with all of the Undisputed Era. We hear nothing but yelling, and we get the announcement of the tag team match, and Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong at TakeOver 25. So it's Gargano and Riddle versus O'Reilly and Fish, and then we got Strong versus Riddle at TakeOver. So I'm loving what's going on here, man. This is definitely a must-see show coming up on June 1st. The next match we seen was Sean Maluda versus Mansoor. This was the opening match for NXT tonight. Mansoor wins via pinfall with a twisting cutter of sorts. I don't know if he has a specific name for it, but Sean Maluda, we know, is a part of the Samoan family. He was in the inaugural Cruiserweight Classic. We've seen little spurts of Sean Maluda here and there. Really nothing all that spectacular from him yet. I don't think WWE's given him enough time to really be on TV. But Mansoor, we're seeing a lot more of Mansoor. I think WWE is really getting on the Mansoor bandwagon. And I got to be honest with you, man. I think I am too. I didn't really think anything of him the first couple of times I've seen him. But man, he is good. You know, he has the makings. I see a little Mustafa Ali in him. I really do. I see him on the level of Mustafa Ali. I actually see him being promoted to a 205 Live. That's what I really see from him coming out of NXT. So we'll see what happens with Mansoor. But he is very fluid in the ring. He knows what he's doing in there. He is very easy to watch. And you figured with Mansoor, who the fuck is this guy coming, out of the PC? We don't really know much about him. But, man, he's pretty fucking good. That's all I can say about him. So, he got a quick victory here over Sean Maluda, the twisting cutter, and he gets the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Pretty impressive stuff, man. We're seeing more and more of Mansoor, and I think he's going to start growing on everybody little by little. Backstage, we got the incident with Kathy Kelly, like I mentioned. I skipped ahead in my notes. So, Kathy Kelly was outside William Regal's office, and that was where Johnny Gargano and Matt Riddle versus O'Reilly and Fish were made, and then Strong versus Matt Riddle at TakeOver. Velveteen Dream comes on out, looking as stylish as ever. Walks down the aisle with the North American Championship. Dream says right now he's in high demand. He's in high demand, which means people are looking to get hold of the Dream. But the Dream is too big to hold. Interpret that as you will. You can only experience the Dream before he can continue to talk about himself. People want to hold the Dream. People want to squeeze the Dream. People want to be near the Dream. People want to smell the Dream. Whatever. People want the Dream. Before he can continue to self-loathe, Tyler Breeze comes out. You hear that specific clicking of the camera in the theme song, and then you hear, "Oh, Tyler!" And I'm like, oh, shit. Here comes Tyler Breeze. He heads out to the ring. Beautiful pop from the NXT fans. Welcome home. Breeze is pretty. Or Tyler is pretty, they were chanting. Breeze says he's home. And much like Dream, he had everybody talking about him. Breeze says NXT feels a little bit dull since he left. And he knocks the Velveteen Dream for being a cheap knockoff and a fraud. And he didn't really direct it at the Dream, but Dream knew what he was talking about, cheap knockoffs. But Tyler Breeze says, you know what? At the end of the day, I find it to be flattering. But there can only be one Tyler Breeze. Now, the crowd started to chant, Breeze is gorgeous. Breeze let Dream know things are a little bit different now in NXT. Things are done a little bit differently. All because you couldn't hack it on the main roster. Doesn't mean you could come back down to NXT and walk into the Dream's ring and request time with the Dream and request a shot at Dream's North American Championship. You know? And then the Dream actually made fun of Tyler Breeze being a rent-a-cop. And this was hilarious. Everything about this was great. Dream lets Breeze know that things are a little bit different. They want a real man, not a boy. Especially not a boy who plays cops and robbers. So just because you couldn't cut it on Monday and Tuesday doesn't mean you could come to NXT and demand the spotlight. Breeze says, rather than you couldn't hack it, let's go with more of the word along the lines of uninspired. And that's a direct fucking shot at Monday Night Raw. Because Monday Night Raw is literally uninspired television. This was a brilliant fucking promo. I love the hidden truths in this promo. I love the fact that Velveteen Dream made mention of Tyler Breeze run on the main roster. Rent a cop. You know, cops and robbers. Love the fact that Velveteen Dream made a mention of Tyler Breeze coming back down to NXT because he couldn't do anything on the main roster. And then I love Velveteen Dream's comeback, or Tyler Breeze comeback rather, to the Dream, that he is back because he was uninspired. And I love that. It resonates so much with what we know and what we see on Monday and Tuesday. He continues that the Dream and the North American Championship inspire him. So this is not the first time Tyler Breeze is going after the North American Championship. He had one opportunity against Ricochet in a random put-together match at the tail end of 2018. Very, very good match. Tyler Breeze looked more of a star in that one match with Ricochet than he did all in 2018. So Velveteen Dream says, listen, the line starts on the outside. You see the ramp over there on the outside of the building? On the opposite end of the wall, there's the outside of the building. That's where the line starts. That's where you should go. But I don't want to waste your time. You know, if you want a picture with the Dream, if you want a selfie with the Dream, I'd be happy to take one with you. So Breeze starts laughing, and at the end, he says, you know what? Let's do it. Let's take a picture together. So Breeze then says, you know, Dream, before we take this picture, when you write your phone number on your trunks and no one calls you up, that's because no one is interested in you. And he hits the Velveteen Dream with his cell phone, drops him, and walks out of the ring. Simple as that. They didn't even need to utter a fucking word. Before Tyler Breeze even made it to the ring, I was sold on this match already. It's like looking into the mirror. Tyler Breeze was the original OG. Tyler Breeze was the original pretty boy on NXT's Prince Pretty. And now we got the Velveteen Dream, who is similar to Tyler Breeze. Nowhere in the same vein as Tyler Breeze. He is a completely different monster compared to what Tyler Breeze was when he was down in NXT. But the similarities are definitely there. But this is a classic old school versus new school, which sells me instantly. Because we all know what Tyler Breeze can fucking do. We've all been wanting Tyler Breeze to go into that ring and do what he does best. And there's no better place for him to do that than against the Dream at a takeover in NXT. I wish more like Tyler Breeze had the opportunity to do that. The only thing I don't like about this, and I'm going to attribute it to the 25th takeover. I'm going to attribute it to that. I don't like this for one reason and one reason only, and it's because of similarities to what the main roster does. Someone walks into said promotion without doing anything, and they're getting a title shot. Oh, Tyler Breeze attacked the Velveteen Dream, and boom, the title match is made. Yes, that is a plebeian mentality. That is a simplistic mentality. That's a Vince McMahon mentality. There's nothing that went into that match that really warrants Tyler Breeze getting a title match against the North American champion. He didn't really do anything. He just showed up, he's a main roster guy, and boom, we have a title match for TakeOver. Now, I get why the match is being made. They threw the word OG around, original guy. And this was clearly a case of Tyler Breeze wanting to once again capture the spotlight. And it's the 25th annual TakeOver. Or the 25th ever TakeOver, I should say. So, I like the fact that they're celebrating an anniversary with an original guy. And that original guy is Tyler Breeze, who is NXT. He is just as NXT as a Sami Zayn or anybody like that, you know? So I'm loving the aspect of it, but the similarities to what the main roster does is kind of bleeding into NXT here, and that's the only thing I really don't understand. But I'm letting it go because NXT, you know, they don't do this often, so they get a pass. They get a free ride because they don't go about making matches like this at all. So when we see it one time and it doesn't make sense, it's easier to digest. When you see it on the main roster happen every fucking pay-per-view, you start questioning why? Why are they doing that? None of it makes sense. And the fact that they got the 25th takeover taking place and you got an OG and Tyler Breeze, it kind of goes hand in hand. So there you go. Plus, I do feel, man, they're really ramping this shit up for, you know, I wouldn't say a lazy build, but a build that is experiencing a shortage of time. So to put this match together in such a short amount of time or get an opponent for the Dream in such a short amount of time, I am okay with it because we know the match is going to be fantastic. And if the Velveteen Dream can learn anything from Tyler Breeze, it's going to be a win-win situation. So the simple fact that we got the 25th takeover and we got a takeover that's happening on its own in relatively quick fashion, and there really isn't anybody after Dream beat Matt Riddle for his defense of the NXT North American Championship at TakeOver New York. There really hasn't been anybody lined up. Plus, he was supposed to get Dijakovic. Which would you rather have? Dijakovic in a kind of okay build, or Tyler Breeze in a quick match that has no build, but it's going to be a fantastic match? I'm going to take option number 2. So yes, it doesn't make sense, but again, NXT doesn't do this type of shit often at all, so when they do it, it's more easier to digest than seeing it on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. Outside, Kathy Kelly catches up with Tyler Breeze, and she asked him what was his motivation for attacking Velveteen Dream here tonight. Breeze says he's an NXT OG and just wanted to introduce Dream to an inspired Prince Pretty. He looks at Kathy Kelly, does this, walks away. Simple as that. Reina Gonzalez versus Candice LeRae. Reina Gonzalez is fucking awful. I will say this again if you guys did not hear me. Reina Gonzalez is fucking awful. Didn't like her in the Mae Young Classic the 2 times that I seen her. Didn't like her here. And she didn't make do with Candice LeRae at all. At all. This was terrible for Candice LeRae. Candice got the victory, thank God. I love Candice. It's good to see Candice. But this was just awful. And the size difference was enormous. Candice looked like a fucking, she looked like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids standing next to Reina Gonzalez. Baseball dropkick, followed by a springboard crossbody by LeRae. She's very athletic for her small stature. I love her. But she's caught in midair. LeRae was able to get away and send Gonzalez into the steps. Back in the ring, this was on the outside, by the way, clowns. Back in the ring, Reina heads to the top rope, hits a Hurricane Rana and lands a Fury of forearms. Then a back elbow, missile dropkick off the top rope. LeRae hits a springboard moonsault off the second rope, pin, and that will do it. That is it. Candice LeRae pins Reina Gonzalez, and that was it. I hope we don't really see much of Randy Gonzalez from this point on. Awful. Post-match, we got Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir heading to the ring, and they ambush LeRae because that's what they do. They've been doing it to everybody on the NXT women's roster. Io Shirai comes out and was so pissed that Kairi Sane got made into a kabuki warrior that she took a kendo stick and unleashed her frustrations for her best friend. I felt some Kairi Sane anger in this, man. She didn't want Kairi to go anywhere, and then when she realized she was going to SmackDown Live, and then when she found out that she was a fucking kabuki warrior with Asuka in a dead program, she took her frustrations out on 3 of the 4 horsewomen. Io Shirai runs out with a kendo stick and absolutely starts slaying all of the horsewomen, man. And Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, they're coming to work thinking that it's going to be a run-of-the-mill post-match attack. We'll throw some fists. We'll throw some forearms. Here comes Io Shirai, man. She was absolutely leveling both Duke and Shafir with this kendo stick. She absolutely destroyed the kendo stick over Shayna Baszler and then started to proceed to break the rest of the kendo stick, swinging it frantically on the ring ropes as she saved Candice LeRae. Absolutely out of her mind, berserk was Io Shirai, and that was it, man. Match is made. Match is made. We got the tag team title ladder match. We got Io Shirai versus Shayna Baszler for the women's championship. We got Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Breeze for the North American Championship. Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. Heavyweight? They're vanilla midgets, man. Go fuck yourself. And we got Roderick Strong versus Matt Riddle. Is Takeover 25 a can't miss show? Abso-fucking-lutely, man. I love it. I love it. So we got Mia Yim versus Bianca Belair and Drew Gulak versus Kushida next week. That's the go-home show for Takeover 25. Main event scene, Matt Riddle and Johnny Gargano versus Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. This was a damn good match, man. Really good match. That seen O'Reilly and Bobby Fish win via pinfall. Now, a lot of you are probably questioning this outcome. I enjoyed this outcome because they have to make Adam Cole look strong, at least going into his match. Or at least, not look strong. I would say they got to let Adam Cole get at least an advantage over Johnny Gargano. Johnny wasn't going to take the fucking pin here. Why would Johnny take the pin if he's the world champion? Something that NXT does beautifully. You don't see champions getting pinned in these tag team put together matches that main event shows. You don't see champions losing one-on-one non-title matches on NXT TV. It's just fucking ridiculous. And then the Undisputed Era, they just got back together with Adam Cole. Why the fuck would they lose when Adam Cole came out in the beginning of the show and says we're stronger than ever? What are you going to do, have them lose? And then start all over again? With the fucking, oh, you're bullshit, this is bullshit, we're not going to last, and they're going to break up, they're going to tease more breakups. No, they had to win. They had to win. And Matt Riddle was the only expendable one here in this match. Gargano kicked O'Reilly in the head with a super kick. Gargano then with a lawn dart to Riddle's knee. He picked up O'Reilly and lawn darted him into Riddle's knee. So Fish and Riddle in the middle of the ring. Fish, though, he's clearly still wearing the knee brace. I couldn't find anywhere. If you guys want to post it in the comments below, I know I seen somewhere on Twitter that Bobby Fish was at a house show and they threw the X up. They were thinking that he was hurt. I don't know if it was his shoulder or an elbow. I don't know what it was, but I do know that he was hurt at a recent house show. I hope that it's not serious enough to jeopardize the Undisputed Era in that tag team match, but clearly this was a tape show, and this happened well before all of that happened this week. So Bobby Fish and Matt Riddle were in the ring. Riddle with a power bomb and a knee strike right to Bobby Fish. Devastating. O'Reilly pulls Fish out of the ring, and that breaks up that pinfall. Riddle then with a penalty kick from the apron on O'Reilly. Cole comes out, and Gargano hits the suicide dive on Cole. So Adam Cole didn't even make the match. Gargano took it upon himself to stop Adam Cole from getting in the match. So you really couldn't call a DQ. And then the referee's trying to break up Johnny Gargano getting his hands on Adam Cole. Bro, what are you doing? Get back in the match. We got a match to finish. So there's no DQ because Adam Cole really didn't put his hands on Johnny Gargano. Out of nowhere comes Roderick Strong. Referee's distracted behind the referee's back. Strong shows up and destroys Riddle. Backbreaker on the apron. Back in the ring we got the Undisputed Era delivering high-low, and Matt Riddle is pinned 1, 2, 3. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish win via pinfall. Post-match, Adam Cole and Roderick Strong jump into the ring and attack Riddle and Gargano. The other members of Undisputed Era hold Gargano as Cole delivers the last shot to Gargano, giving you a tease of what he thinks will happen at TakeOver 25, and then the group just stand over Gargano and taunt the NXT champion as the show goes off the air. Very good episode. TakeOver was pretty much completed tonight, and man, I'm fucking excited about it. I can't wait. Super Showdown. What do we got? What's the next pay-per-view coming up? Stomping Ground? Yeah, sure. This is going to be better than all of that, man. I can't wait. Saturday, June 1st, TakeOver 25. 5 great matches, and I was honestly worried that things were not going to materialize the way that I usually expect them to for a TakeOver, because I feel like it was very short notice. I feel like they pushed the date back, and it kind of sped everything up, and I felt like that was going to harm the show a little bit more, and storylines had to be rushed through to finish. But the matches that they put together, man, I have absolutely no problem with it. I think the show's going to fucking kill it. And TakeOver, you know what Triple H does with TakeOver, man. He's got the mentality of, if it's not better than the last fucking thing we did, then we're not doing our job. That's the mentality, man. That's the mentality that I respect from Triple H. So I'm excited about what we're going to get in Connecticut for TakeOver 25, man. That is your NXT review. Thank you guys so very much for all of that. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And make sure you guys go and check out all the other videos that you might have missed this week. Off the Script. Get ready for Off the Script this weekend, man. We're going to talk about more of the 24/7 title and how fucking garbage it is. What does WWE and the WWE management team think of the 24/7 title, I should say. And what you're about to hear on Friday is exactly what I've been saying all week. Even WWE thinks it's a fucking joke. So we'll go over that and everything coming out of Money in the Bank concerning Brock Lesnar. So it's going to be a big weekend, and I'll be in Vegas. Off the Script is going to Vegas, man. So I'll see you guys out there as I'm flying out on Thursday morning. Thank you guys so very much, man. I have a lot of packing to do still for Vegas, so I'm going to get out of here. Hope to see you guys in Vegas for Double or Nothing weekend. If you're at StarCast, some of you guys, if you're going to be out there, come and say what's up. I would really appreciate it. I'd love to meet some of you guys. I'm not having a formal meet and greet, but please follow me on social media. You guys will know where I am and what I'm doing if you guys want to get together. So thank you guys so much, man. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you all in Las Vegas for episode 275 of Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.